Welcome everybody to our 7 p.m. Central Standard Time Monday call every single Monday where we talk everything final expense, nonstop training every single day, all day we have stuff. Join us on our morning call or evening calls. There's always something for people to learn. So today our topic specifically is going to be talking about how to keep a book of business alive, right? Medications keep the clients alive. We want to keep our book of business alive, and there's ways to do it. And that's called persistency, right? Persistency is the percentage of people that stay on the books, right? So, I got my notepad and my pen. I always have my notepad and pen, right? And whether it's for people asking questions in the chat itself to make sure that I address things, or when E hops on, I'm definitely going to have my pen and pad. So I would highly, highly recommend that y'all have yours on for sure, because he's phenomenal. And we'll be talking, to him in just a moment. He's got about a 97% persistency. And my highest persistency when I would be out in the field selling full time was 88%. And I thought that was pretty dang good. In fact, it is pretty dang good. But to have a 97, right? Like, that is crazy. And I don't want to lie to y'all and give you a fib, but I'm pretty sure I think that's the number that he told me when we were together in Houston or St. Louis, right? So that's a pretty, anything above 90% is unreal, right? Anything above 80% is a great number. So we always tell agents when you're coming on board, when we're doing the math and we're walking through your income and how much money you can make, we say, hey, listen, if you have an 80% persistency, this is the amount of money that you're going to make, right? We need an 80% persistency, the amount of clients that stay on the books, to make this business model successful. That's what we tell agents all the time, because it's true, right? But the higher your persistency, the larger the percentage of clients that you sell stay on the books, right? The more money that you're going to make, because you're not chasing your tail with chargebacks. That's an important thing. And just like this, that's one of the main reasons. And I'm not saying, because E wasn't doing this prior, but that's one of the main reasons why selling other products in the home is so important, right? So if we're selling Medicare, hospital indemnity plans, annuities, traditional life products, maybe we're selling an IUL, maybe we're selling a term policy to their kids that's 20 years old, right? Maybe you're adding on a child rider. Maybe there's a lot of things that we can add on to these households where you're selling multiple different products, not just the life and the health insurance side, but alternative things. And as y'all know, the more amount of products that you sell in the home, the higher your persistency is going to be, right? So that just makes sense, right? The stickier my business is going to be when I sell Medicare. So one thing that was a huge differentiator for me going out in the field selling was it was simple. I was selling life insurance and health insurance. I was selling Medicare, right? And I was selling final expense. That was my bread and butter. Those are the two things. And when I was selling Medicare and final expense, the clients, even if they canceled a life policy or they canceled their health policy, I still had one. I generally would still have one or the other, which is great, because now I have a sale and I have a client for life. Because one day they might be in a health insurance plan, right, that they don't like. And when they think insurance, they're calling me. Even if I wasn't the agent to have sold them the Medicare, right? That's a huge thing. So it's very important for y'all to understand. It's like, hey, just make sure that when this client thinks insurance, that they are thinking of you, their agent. So let me walk through some of the stuff that I do, right? So some things that I do is I go ahead, I got a paper business card, right? And I recommend that y'all don't recommend. I don't recommend it. You have to, non-negotiable, you have to put your beautiful picture on that card, okay? And you need to go ahead and send that on out to them, okay? You got to get that business card rolling to your clients. So a couple things that I'm going to take out of my drawer here. So one, I go ahead and I just got a paper business card, right? Got that smiling, beautiful face. When I first got in this business 8 years ago, okay, someone told me that one of the guys I was working with, he told me, he said, hey, the more opportunities for that client to see your smiling face, the higher the percentage that they're going to stay on the book, right? The larger the probability that they're going to stay on the books. That's why in the beginning, I mean, this is 2014, when they would actually mail you a policy, and then you would go do a delivery of that policy. And when you delivered that policy, they would have to sign a delivery certificate, right? So, but nowadays, right, they just get it in the mail and that's it. So, but you always want to stay in front of your clients, because if you don't stay in front of your clients, what happens is they send in another lead. So if you guys were, over here and I was like, hey, show of hands real quick, how many times you've been in a house and there was another agent, every single person on this call would raise their hand, because there was definitely at one point in time, right, Tim? That's a double hand. So at one point in time, there was another agent in that house. And when there was another agent in that house, right, that person didn't do their job. Because if they did their job and they thought insurance, they wouldn't have taken time to send another card, right? They would have taken time to call you, to have the magnet that's on your refrigerator, on their refrigerator with my picture on it, phone number, all that stuff. That's important, right? Life and health insurance. You can add some more stuff if you want on there. So that's very important. So when these people think insurance, they're calling me. Before I even leave that home, I'm making sure I reiterate that point. Do not think about sending another card, right? If you send another card, I will bill you myself personally because that costs people money. And whenever you send that card in, what it does, okay, I'm just going to send someone out here try and sell you something. Do you like when people come and sell you something? You don't. I don't, right? So if you just need anything at all, when it comes to any insurance, life, health insurance, whatever it is, I'm going to help you with that. So at least just make me your first phone call. And then I can at least point you in the right direction on where you need to go, right? But if it's something simple, Miss Mary, okay, on that insurance card, whether, let's say, for example, it's like a health insurance card, a Medicare card, and they get their Medicare card in the mail. So just like you guys, if you have your health insurance card, let me take my health insurance card out, wherever it is. So if I look at my health insurance card and I see it right here, I'm looking at it. It's got my name. It's got all the different stuff that I need. If I flip it to the back of the card here, okay, for United Healthcare, it says online account. There you go. Set up your online account. We're dealing with seniors. They don't really have the online account. We got member services, right? So that's the number that I want to make sure that my clients have for their plans, right? So if it's just finding a dentist, do you really want to field that phone call? Not necessarily, right? But you want to take that call and then point them in the right direction. And you always want to answer your phone. I think new agents in this business, one thing that's really important about new agents in this business is they are terrified to answer their phone because they did it one time before. And when they answer the phone, the client yelled at them, said they want to cancel, right? Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's like, I don't know if I want to answer that phone. I'm a little scared to answer that phone. If I answer it, like what's going to happen? For me, whenever I answer my phone today, I answered my phone. This guy called me on up. His name's Keenan, 5700 Industrial Boulevard out there in Greenville, right? Spoke to him a long time ago, right? Like no joke, over like a year ago, could be 2 years ago. And I tried to get the guy some insurance, tried to get something on his mother. He wanted to get something on his mother, but it just wasn't right at that point in time. So he called me today, a minimum, right? Absolute minimum of a year later. He called me today and he's like, hey, do you still sell insurance? I'm like, yes, sir, I do. Right? Been in the business for a long time. I ain't stopping now. In fact, I got a 2-year-old son now, right? So I need to be selling some insurance. Okay. I don't really have a choice. Got a little laugh out of it. He enjoyed it. Kind of broke the ice a little bit. I don't remember what his name was. Right off the bat, he tells me who he is. I don't have the number saved, but I use unlisted. Okay. So I have an app. So you could do unlisted or Google Voice or something like that. And the Google Voice or unlisted, what I do, unlisted, just so you know, it's an app on your phone. And then I use Google Voice as well, one or the other. So I can go ahead and I know if someone's calling me and it comes through Google Voice, right? Or it comes through unlisted, it pops up with the number and the app kind of shows me. So I know it's an insurance related call, right? I know it's a client that's calling me or prospect. So every single time that clients call me, it's generally, right, some type of help that they need with their existing policy or to buy more insurance. That's usually what it is. So every single month I'm getting calls where I'm selling an extra $3,000+ insurance just because people call me. I would say that's a pretty fair number. Or they need help with their Medicare because they know this guy, he did such a great job with me. Like, do you mind if I give your number out to other people? Absolutely. In fact, I would love if you gave my number out to other people and you take care of me, I'll take care of you. Okay. So you want to make sure that you're out there and you build a brand, right? So whatever your brand is, whatever your corporation is, right? You look at Tim over here, he's got Stag Financial. You look at Corey Williams and Tim Belo. They have Genesis Worldwide, right? They have a brand. So the brand is what you want to build. Okay. So this brand that you have is what's going to be there. That's longevity. I want to build a corporation. I want to build a business that's there after I am, right? And I want to be able to pass that down to my son. I don't want him sitting in, final expense homes. I'm not going to lie to you. But what I will say, all right, is that I want him to have a great quality life and I want to build this business for him long-term. So how do I do that? Not just churn and burn, buy, 50 leads and never answer the phone ever. Okay. I never answer the phone. I used to, I'll give you an example of when I first started. Let's say, not when I first started, but around like 2018, 2019 timeframe, I was just a straight up volume producer, right? I was just straight volume. I did not care. I didn't answer my phone. When I didn't answer my phone, I just rolled up. I would just get tons of chargebacks. That's all it was, right? I was chasing my tail, right? And my persistency was decent at best, right? In like the 70s, right? 70s, not 70s in the year, okay? 70s in the percentage. And that ain't good. That is a terrible persistency. So for me, what I did was I was able to stop that and reevaluate my business, right? If 30% of everything's falling off, like you're doing something wrong. Oh, okay. Well, maybe I look at my phone and I got 15 missed phone calls, 20 voicemails from people that I never answered or returned, right? They're texting me, they're emailing me. I'm irresponsible. And when you're irresponsible with your business, you get the results of someone that's irresponsible, which means you could be out of business and pretty quickly. 6-12 months, you could be out of this game very, very fast. And I've seen it nonstop, right? It always happens. I guarantee you look at someone on that leaderboard that cracked 20 grand this past month in July, there's someone on there that's probably going to be out of the business. And it's not just because of their poor money management, right? That's one of the biggest factors, right? It's not just because of work ethic, because that's a huge factor too, right? But it's because they're not doing the right thing, not only in the home, but they're not doing the right thing when they leave the home. Okay. So there's one thing, hey, before I get to that house, I'm prepared, right? Before I even get to the house, I'm not forgetting my business cards, right? My paper business card. I'm not forgetting the magnet that's going to go on the refrigerator. I'm not forgetting all the different carrier marketing materials that I have. I'm not forgetting the enrollment guides that I got for carrier different leave behinds. I want to legitimize myself while I'm in that home, right? I want to make sure that the client knows that I am a professional. I'm the real deal. And when I leave that house, they're not thinking in the back of their mind, is this a scam? Right? Because that's what happens. They call their sister, they call their brother, right? They call their cousin who's a mechanic, not an insurance agent, he's a mechanic. And they talk to him and they're like, oh, no, that sounds like a scam. I wouldn't do that. You would do that? How do you even know this guy? Oh, he just knocked on your door. You bought insurance from someone that knocked on your door? Sounds crazy to me. Probably sounds crazy to them too. But if they, the next day or so, they get, boom, a handwritten card from you in the mail, that's huge. I'm not saying you have to do send out cards immediately, right? If you can't afford to do send out cards immediately, you know what you can afford? You can afford to go to Walmart, right? Get a little stack of these bad boys, something. Doesn't have to have your brand on it, because you can go ahead and you can put your card right in there. Handwritten envelope, right? Your return address with your name, your family's name, whatever it is. You could do something that looks good, right? Maybe you got a picture of you and your family on your thank you cards, whatever it might be. But you want to build that brand. And when you leave that house, the next day or so, they are getting that card in the mail. So when I leave the home, I am going upstairs. Hey, honey, love you. Going upstairs to my office, give her a kiss the baby, walk on upstairs. Dear Miss Jane, thank you for taking time to sit down with me today to help protect your family. If you need anything, feel free to call or text me at any time. You'll be getting your policy in the mail in about 7 to 10 business days. Thank you. Boom. Handwritten, signed, sealed, delivered. If you got bad handwriting, ask your friend, significant other, whatever to write it. All right. My handwriting is not that bad. Tim, my handwriting in St. Louis, was it bad on the whiteboard? Not that bad.
You're all right, brother.
Yeah. I appreciate you. So yeah, so not too terrible. So, but it goes a long way. You know, when you buy something, I'll give you an example. Okay, here's an example. I went out and I went to a dealership's, like, I like nice cars, right? So I enjoy a nice car. Go to the dealership and I sit down with the guy. Before I even go to I'm the easiest close in the entire world. People that are high performers and high salespeople are the easiest closes just because they know what they want, right? And when they find what they want, it's not a sale, right? I've already sold myself. Like, I'm done. As soon as I get in that house, I'm like, or not house, as soon as I get to that dealership, I've already bought the car before I go there. You still got to negotiate. I'm not saying that. But I went to the dealership. I go ahead and I sit down with the guy, right? And I'm talking with him, and it was great conversation. You know, we do everything. It's literally, I'm literally in and out the door, right, of a dealership in less than 30 minutes. If I ever go to buy a car, it's like, it's done, right? I already know everything I'm putting down. If you're going to pay cash for the vehicle, whatever you're going to do, right? I'm in and out. I know the whole process. But when I left, right, I got home probably an hour later or later that afternoon. He texted me, took time to text me, because we're in a generation where text messaging is acceptable, right? So he took time, he texted me and he said, hey man, how are you enjoying the car? I'm loving it. It's great. It's a beautiful vehicle. Runs smooth. How many car dealerships, sometimes in the car dealership, they don't even want to text you. Like, did that thing run on the way home? Still got a transmission? That thing didn't blow up, right? Did we even top the oil off before he left? You don't know. So that guy went for, and it was like that little thing. Great. So he did that. He told me he was going to send me an email. Okay. He's like, hey, later today, look me in the eye contact. Later today, I'm going to send you an email. Got all this paperwork and everything. He took time to send me that email. He did what he said he was going to do. And I enjoyed that. I was like, that is awesome. And I respect it, because hustle respects the hustle. People who grind respect people who grind. And that's what I'm about all day long. So he texted me, send that message. The following week, he was like, hey man, hope you had a great weekend. How's the car doing? Are you enjoying it? Right? How's your wife? How's your son? Personal message. Love that. That's not just a copy and paste type message. That's a personal message. So you could write on your handwritten card, hey, I hope your daughter's doing all right. Right? Because you may have touched on a pain point where she was saying in that home that her daughter wasn't doing too great or whatever it might be. So you add that little note, make it personal. So what I do, or what he did, right? He sent me that email. He did what he said he was going to do. Or he didn't tell me he was going to text me, right? Text me. Hey man, hope you're loving it. Great. I'm loving it. Boom. Sent me the email. Like he said he was going to send me the email. Next week, followed up. Boom. Loved it. So do you think if I had a referral, that's probably the place that I refer someone to? Absolutely. Non-negotiable, right? I'm like, hey, dude, they took care of me. They loved it. They get you the best rate. They take care of you when you walk in, right? My favorite soda. E, what's my favorite soda? Hold on. Let me see if I can unmute this guy. E, he better get this right. If he don't get this right, his persistency is low. What you got for me?
Dr. Pepper.
Oh, that's my guy. Look at this. Persistency is through the roof, right? So if he's going over there and he's like, boom, Dr. Pepper, 11, Dr. Pepper's your thing, right? Hey, know that. Remember, right? Personal note. So next time you go to that client's house, maybe you show up with that 2 liter of Coke, whatever it might be, that you know they don't need because they're diabetic, right? You know they don't need because they're missing a leg, but you bring it anyways because they enjoy it, right? They're literally on their last leg. All right, that's a little that was a cheesy joke. Okay. That's too far. So
No pun intended.
all right, so I do that, right? I go through my whole entire process, but my persistency isn't 97%, right? So E's here and his persistency is 97%. And if it's not 97%, E, go along with it, at least say it's 90. No, I'm just kidding. Give him the real numbers. So he's got a whole process. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut up. I'm going to take some time and I'm going to write some notes down. And the notes that I'm going to write, just so you guys know, right? I got my little black book. You guys all know this, right? I got 4 or 5 different journals that I'm writing in all the time. So in this one over here, right? This morning call, right? What did I write down? Feel, felt, found, right? I wrote a whole entire page of that. I'm going to use that again. Today, I got E's persistency training. That's my 65th topic that I have in this book. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and let E take this over, and he's going to walk you guys through every single thing that you need to know to maintain your persistency. From his smile, from the second that he gets out of the car, walking up to the door, waving and smiling, right? To taking the guy out that he was with today and giving him some coffee or whatever he was having. I think he said coffee, water, maybe some chips. I don't know, popcorn. He did say popcorn. And it was a sweetheart of a guy and they got the deal done. So E, take it on over, baby.
Man, for sure. First and foremost, thank you, my dude. I freaking love man, everybody throw some thumbs up, bro. If y'all guys, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like Holden's energy, like this guy's energy is freaking flawless. Like flawless. Don't be shy. Come on, don't be shy, man. Little turkeys. All right, cool. So check this out. I'm a big believer in following up. Holden was talking about the car business as I was coming in. My wife just left on a road trip, so I was saying my goodbyes to my wife. But as I was coming in, I just heard him talk about the car business, and that's basically where I came from. I came from the car business. I was the number one for a Hyundai. I was with them for 5 years, and I was very, very successful at it because I'm a big believer that if I learn from people that are really successful and I stick around with them, I always strive to become better than them. Right. So whenever I first came into the car business, I went in there with the purpose, and that was to master the art of listening, master the art of asking the right questions, and then mastering the art of closing the deal. But then one of the guys in the business taught me something more important. He said, you really want to master the art of following up. You want to master that art. You want to be flawless when it comes down to following up. Your follow-up game should be so strong that when people try to replace, or when people try to call your clients and tell them another vehicle, or call your clients and try to replace those policies, or whatever business or product or service you have, you want people to say, dude, to this day, I still have people, hundreds of people that call me asking for a car, for another upgrade, asking me, hey, E, where can I, who do you know that I can give them, my business? Like which guy or girl do you know that has integrity that's going to be able to sell me a very good, how do you call it, a very good deal, and they're going to have integrity to do so. So for that, I understood that following up for me became very key. So I'll walk you guys through what I do whenever I leave a house. First and foremost, after I, wrap up the deal, I never say thank you. So if you guys say thank you, ladies and gentlemen, if you are telling your client thank you, I personally want to encourage you to stop. Like, don't do that. If you think about it, if I give Holden the Dr. Pepper, he has the right to tell me thank you because I did something for him, right? I did something for him, right? But if I tell him thank you because I closed the deal, subconsciously he's gonna know, dude, I did something for him. See, I never want Holden to ever feel like he did something for me, right? I want Holden to have that emotion. How does it feel when you tell somebody thank you, or you're being congratulated for doing something good? It feels real good, right? So if I tell Holden, hey, congratulations on making a decision to taking care of your family and leaving something that's generational, leaving the legacy behind to your family, congratulations, Holden. 10 out of 10 times, Holden is going to feel real good about himself because he's like, dude, he did something good. Like, I did something good, right? So congratulations, Holden. Another thing that I do, the moment I tell him that, I'll be like, hey, Holden, let me see your phone real quick. And I'll take his phone. And if he needs to unlock the phone, I'll be like, can you unlock it for me real quick? He will unlock the phone. I'll take over the phone and I'll go to contacts and I will put Edward, my insurance broker, right? And then from there, I'll go back, I'll take a selfie, and then I'll crop it, I'll make it look nice, and then I'll show it to him and I'll be like, here you go. You have Edward, your insurance broker, with my picture. At any given time, Holden, if you have any questions, concerns, complaints, you hate the company, you read a bad review, whatever it might have been that you feel upset about, please call me. I will pick up the phone. And Holden, you have 100% of my commitment. I don't make promises. I learned this in scripture. Let your yes be yes and your no's be no's, right? Whenever you say promise, you're basically saying, hey, my no or my yes has no value. So therefore I have to use the word promise, right? So I always let them know, hey, my commitment to you is going to be that whenever you call me, I will pick up my phone. Right now, in case I don't pick up the phone, Holden, I will text you. And more likely is because I'm with another client, and the same respect that I'm giving you, I want to make sure that I can give them the same respect. Is that fair enough? Oh, most definitely. All right, cool. Now, with that being said, from there, I'll let them know, hey, any complaints, called, you call me. If you're at the grocery store and you get to hear somebody that's talking about insurance, please let them know about me. Show them my phone, show them my picture, tell them, hey, call my guy E, right? If somebody calls you and they tell you about insurance and they tell you how you should do, tell them that you already have E, but also please let them know that I'm hiring, that I am hiring and I have really good comp levels. They will know what comp levels mean. Please tell them that. Tell them that I'm hiring, right? And they'll laugh about it. And then from there, I'll also go and say, great, and then at the end, I'll be like, nevertheless, just do know that I'm here to serve you and your family. All right, have a blessed day. Congratulations again. And then I'll take a selfie with them, right? And my selfie is on my phone, and I'll let them know just in case they're kind of like, oh, why? Hey, look, We had one the other day in Houston. I went with another agent, and I told the agent to take a picture with the client, and she was like, "Oh no, I don't want to take a picture," right? So then what I did, I said, "All right, we got to take a picture though." Right, because I believe it was the energy, the difference of energy that was delivered. Right, my energy was like, "Hey, we got to take a picture." She goes, "No." I said, "Look, you look beautiful already. Plus, I got this thing that I do with my wife that she and I are in business together, and she wants to see all the people that I get the opportunity to serve." All right. So when I get home, I got to show her your nice Colgate smiling picture. So I need that Colgate smile, right? Crest smile, whatever toothpaste you use, right? I use Colgate, right? So then, boom, we'll take that Colgate smile. And at that very moment, as I'm walking out the door, I have a system called send out cards, which I encourage you guys to get. I'll make sure to post the link right here. You are welcome to join with me. And basically, if you give me access, Holden, I will show you how those babies look like.
Yes, sir. I'm going to make you host right now. Don't take over, though. No, go ahead. All right, you are.
Right, because what I'm doing now is everybody that is in my system, they'll get a happy birthday to me card. And basically the happy birthday to me card says, "Hey, look, I just want to take the time to allow you the opportunity to celebrate my birthday today. Hopefully you are having an extraordinary day. And like always, make sure you stay Colgate smiling. Your friend, your insurance broker, Mr. ETE," right? And then they'll call me or they'll text me and they'll be like, "Hey, happy birthday. That was pretty cool. That was different. Like, happy birthday, hopefully you have a great birthday," and all these good stuff. Right. So I'll send that card over. I'll send another one for the holidays, one for Thanksgiving, and one for Christmas. Personally, I believe in my Lord Jesus Christ. So I still make sure that anything that I do, that I represent Christ, regardless of who that person might be, right? I never push it on nobody. I never push it on clients, but I make sure that my clients know that where my faith is at, right? And they believe it, and they accept that, and I respect their beliefs and they respect my beliefs. So I'll send a Merry Christmas card to them again. So I send out about six send out cards a year, and once a quarter, I'll call that client. And basically, the way I call the client, not only myself, but I will also have every 6 months, and in the year, I'll have my personal dialer. What he will do is he will call all my database, and basically he's calling to see, "Hey, how are you doing? This is Toby giving you a contact from the ETE group office, just letting you know that Edward is just continues to be happy to be your insurance broker. He's going to be in your area this coming up weekend. He just wants to know if there's something new or any new updates you might have, or do you have a grandchild that might have been born, or somebody, the relative that is around the corner that is going to be home, so he can stop by and he can add value to your family." Or if you can have a group of people, he has a company or a new carrier that he just partners up with. He will be more than delightful to show you some new upgrades that are coming up in the future. Now that I partner up with Medicare, he'll have them say Medicare, right? So now his job is to make sure that he can get me in front of all my clients all over again, right? So by the time you choose to go and follow up with my client will tell you, "Hey, my dude Edward is actually hiring. You might want to get in contact with them," right? So that's something that I've done since I was in the car business. My chargeback ratio with my previous IMO was a 5% or below. I can prove it. One thing that my staff would do every Thursday and every Monday, her job was check my carriers. Monday and Thursday, clockwork. Her job was, and still is, check all my carriers, make sure that I have no chargeback, no lapse policies. If I do have a chargeback, her job is to call the client, and I make sure to coach her on how to become a closer herself. And her job is to ask the question, "Hey, Holden, hey, Tim, like, did you become immortal? Like, what happened?" Right? And they'll laugh and they'll giggle with her, right? And they're like, "What do you mean? No. Well, I got a crazy email saying that you called to cancel your policy, and I know that couldn't be it unless Edward did something wrong. Please let me know so I can fire him." "Oh, no, Edward didn't do nothing wrong. Like, finances are getting a little tight right now. You know what? We thought so. But remember what Edward said to you, that regardless how hard life will hit you in the face, that you were still going to be able to take on that payment, that monthly investment. And you said yes. Like, what changed? Well, this popped up. Hey, look, not a problem. We are here to solve problems. We come with solutions. This is what we're going to do. I'm going to have Edward follow up with you. How's tomorrow I see Edward's schedule. He's already booked for the day, and I have no appointments whatsoever for the next day besides my personal own. And she'll be like, but he's booked for the whole day. How's 1:45 in the afternoon or 4:15 that he can follow up with you so he can get this all squared away for you? Oh, 4:15 will be great. Perfect. Right? Edward will see you tomorrow at 4:15. Right? So then from there, we'll wrap it up. We'll go up. We'll save that deal. And we make sure that we continue to stay with the clients. Now, like I mentioned, you're still going to have, personally, I still have that 5% that are just rascals and turkeys. And they just like, hey, I don't want the jazz, or hey, I just don't like you no more, whatever it might have been. Like, it's okay. But I was able to drop my chargeback from a 35% all the way down to 5%. Because you see, in the beginning, whenever I came into this business of insurance, I was informed that in insurance, it was okay that 30% of my business was going to come off. So I believe that. You got to remember, ladies and gentlemen, what you believe, what you accept in your mind, you're going to believe. I accepted the fact that 30% was going to fall off my business. Like, I accepted that in the beginning. And then one day, as I was in bed, I was just tossing around, and my wife said to me, hey, what's going on? And he like, it's 11:30 and you're going to wake up at 3:30 in the morning. Like, why aren't you asleep? Like, what's bothering you? And I said, man, I got a couple of chargebacks today, and I'm probably like 2-3 months in the business. And I said, I just don't agree that I have to have 30% chargebacks. Like Stace, I feel like quitting this business. I didn't have this in the car business. Like, in the car business, I net profited 320,000 every year in my bank account. I was like, girl, 30% is gonna fall off. Like, I just can't believe that's okay. And then she asked the most smartest question. She said, well, what did you do in the car business that you're not doing now? Well, shoot, I wasn't send out cards like the way I was doing it in the car business, right? I wasn't following up like every 6 months and every quarter and every year, how are you doing with an actual personal voice? Or if I was driving and I saw that I have a new client, but Mary lived 2 blocks down, because you're going to remember every client's house, like, unless you have Alzheimer's, but I can almost be 100% sure that none of you guys here have Alzheimer's. So you're going to remember a house that you might have been. See, most of us here, you'll see the house, but you'll drive real fast, hoping that they don't see you. Like, hey, what if they see me through the cracks of their windows? Like, let me go the other way so they don't see my car drive by. See, I, on the other hand, I see that as an opportunity to go door knock, because I build rapport. And I'll go knock and I'll be like, hey, how's it going? Hold it. Hey, look, I just came back from some of your neighbor's house. I'm a little hungry. Do you have a banana that I can have? I have not eaten all day long. And guess what, man? They always give me something to eat, right? Because I got to make sure. It's just like ladies here, right? If you have any ladies here, gentlemen, you might agree with this. But ladies, you might agree with this as well. A gentleman, a guy, he technically has between 30 to 45 seconds to make you smile when he first meets you, right? He has to make you smile before. And if he doesn't, more likely you're not going to be interested on the guy. The guy knows that, hey, man, I got 30 to 45 seconds to make this girl smile or laugh, right? Something genuine. See, I believe that with the client, for me to have them to always remember me, it's one, do something different, always make them smile. If I can have another male smile, a young lady smile, right? Like, they will always remember me. They would always remember E. And then another thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I can encourage you all to do is the following: create a brand, right? Now, you don't have to, say, man, well, I got to create a new social media and become a big. Oh, you don't have to do all that. Just, your brand is yourself, right? So I'll finish off with this. I have my brand ETE. So the one thing that I do is with all my clients, I'll send out hats. I'll send them hats, I'll send them wristbands, I'll send them shirts with the ETE logo. And it'll say expect the extraordinary. And basically I let them know what the brand represents. And I let them know that ETE is everybody. See, I believe that everybody in this call has ETE within them. And that is, they should, one, expect the extraordinary out of God. Two, they should expect the extraordinary out of their own lives. Three, they should expect the extraordinary out of the day. And four, they should demand extraordinary from themselves. And most importantly, in everything that they do, in every small task, you should expect to deliver extraordinary, right? And not let the client know that. And then they'll have it, and they'll send me pictures with it, and they're happy to represent ETE. And they're like, now tell them ETE is you. It's not me. It's just a brand. It's just like Nike, right? My goal is for ETE to be a world-known brand about people, right? And they get excited because they're like, dude, I want to be a part of that. Like, I want to be a part of that. And man, your chargebacks will drop tremendously if you try it. I encourage all of you, do it for 12 months. And if you don't believe me, it's okay. Just try it for 12 months, but be consistent. See, a lot of folks, Holden and I were talking. We had a Medicare meeting last week, and Holden was sharing with everybody about the 3 journals, right? I believe that everybody that is successful does the same thing. We don't even have to go to the same school, but everybody that is successful does the same thing. We carry 3 journals, and each journal has its purpose, right? And Holden and I, Holden was sharing with the Medicare group, dude, you got to do these journals. This is powerful. And at the end, Holden said, hey, dude, 10%. And he made it out loud. 10% will do it, but 1% will stick with it, right? I'm almost sure that dreadfully, and I'm a copy Ben's words. I'm not trying to beat you up, but I'm almost sure, dude, like, some people probably already stopped. They probably did it one day because it felt good. It was the right thing to do. The energy was vibe, but then most people will stop. So I would encourage all of you, seriously, like the journal thing, like regardless of how tacky, girly girl, whatever you want to call it, this will change you completely. If you follow up with your clients relentlessly and you stay consistent, your game, the game will change for you. Your follow-up, your referrals. People will be like, I know Cody, I know Renee, I know Brad. Those are my people. Marriage, and I'm not talking about my people, I'm talking about the client. That's what the client is going to be saying. That's the person that is my agent, my broker, right? So that's all I got for you, my dude.
No. I got a couple more things for you right here. So I'm gonna go back to a couple things that I want to cover. So one, let me ask you a question. Were you just born like this, or did you make yourself into the individual that you are today?
Dude, by the grace of God, bro, I believe that everybody has it. I don't believe that you have to be raised in a hardship. Personally, I was raised very hardship, but since I was a little kid, man, I told myself one day, since I was 5 years old that I was the one. I said, dude, I'm the one. Like, I'm the one that's gonna break the chain in my family tree. I'm the one that is going to make a difference in this planet. I'm not gonna push it on my kids. I'm not gonna say that my kids are gonna be the one. Like, I'm the one. And I would discipline myself, right? I'll share this with you that I think that I share this with my agency. I would encourage you guys to do it, truly, but truly most people won't do it. Every month I choose a number and then I stick by this number, right? Like, for example, this month of August, my number is 40. 40 what? Well, 40 in everything that I'm about to do. 40 hours that I'm going to invest in making sure that I redate my wife. I redate her, I get to know her, I love on her, I date her again. 40 hours this month. 40 hours, I'm going to invest in learning a new program for leadership to grow my skill in leadership. Run 40 miles, Holden was telling me how many miles he runs. And I was like, dude, I got to drop some weight. So I'm going to lose 40 pounds. So my goal is to drop 40 pounds, run 40 miles, and increase my strength by 40%. That will put me at 405 in the bench press, 525 in the deadlift, and 475 in the squat rack, right? So I know my numbers, 40% net profit income that I want to bring into my bank account, 40,000 net profit. I want to make sure that I can have and speak 40 new recruits that I want to make sure that I can bring into this process. 40 new Medicare products, not Medicare products, 40 Medicare clients that I want to put into my account this month. So 40 in everything that I'm going to do. And I'm going to stay consistent at it. 40 hours where I'm going to invest to be in solitude with Jesus Christ for a whole 40 hours, whether it's breaking those hours into like 5 hours one day. My wife is just leaving for a road trip for 7 days. So I'll probably take 3 days out of that time to just be in solitude with Jesus Christ, right? So 40 is my number. So for me to be able to see how it looks like September the 1st, I know that I got to pay the price and I have to have the discipline, right? I have to have the discipline. I was talking to one of my agents this morning and I said, ma'am, allow me to ask you the question, how bad do you want this business? She says, I quit my job for this. I quit my job, but I have not made sales in 2 days. No, I'm sorry, in 2 weeks. And I asked the question, how bad do you want it, ma'am? She says, I really want it, dude. Like, I got to pay my bills this week. I said, allow me to ask you a quick question, and I'm not trying to beat you up, but I just want 100% transparency. This past weekend, how many hours did you devote on working on your skill? She says, I will be very honest with you. Not only this weekend, but all last week, I invested 0 hours in improving in the business. I was more focused on the negative aspect and possibly even contemplating quitting the business and going back to my corporate America job. And I said, that's the difference, ma'am. You see, I already saw the month of August before the month of August happened. And my job is, what are you willing to sacrifice? I love chips. That's the Mexican in me. I love chips and I love pizza, right? So this whole month, like I'm gonna give up pizza and I'm gonna give up chips, right? So I can lose my 40 pounds. But I'm willing to do that. I'm willing to go twice a day after I finish, not this call, but then my personal call with my team, right? I'm gonna go to the gym and do my two miles run, right? And then I'm gonna knock out my 200 push-ups and I'm gonna knock out my 200 dips and my 200 pull-ups, right? Why do I want to? Heck no, I don't want to, man. I want to go watch TV. I'm a Dragon Ball fan, right? I want to go watch an episode of Dragon Ball and kick back, eat a freaking box of chips and then call it a day. Like, that's what I want, right? But my discipline of making sure that I can make my wife proud at the end of the month, be able to be in an association with Tim Below, with Corey, with Holden, with Ben, right? For me to be able to be attractive to Holden, to Ben, and to be in that type of circle, Tim, like, I got to make sure that I bring something to the table, right? It's not just going to be by my looks and my Colgate smile. They're going to be like, all right, you got to have more than that, bro. Like, come on. Like, is there something in there? Like, is there something of value in there? So that's what I believe, bro. So it's just discipline. It's taking a lot of discipline for me. And a lot of commitment, dude. Like, I love my wife so much. Stacy is everything to me. I don't believe that I've never had nobody to call me at 3:30 in the morning to wake up, right? The moment that my opportunity clock sounds, I look to my left and I see Stacy. And for me, it's time for me to show up, man. I got to show up for Stacy. Like, she's counting on me, right? Like, I have to show up. Like, nobody's going to come. Like, Colden, you're my friend, bro, but you're not going to come and pay my bills, right? That's my job. It's my responsibility, right? I got to find a way no matter what. And if, let's say that you're my upline, Holden, because I hear this a lot. Let's say you're my upline, Holden, and let's say that you're a cool dude, but you're not teaching me, right? You're not teaching me in the way that I like to learn. Dude, I'm not going to wait just on you to teach me. Like, I know how to maximize the cell phone. I'm gonna find Tim Below, Tim V, right? I'm gonna find out somebody that is crushing it, and I'm gonna call him, hey Tim, my name is Edward. Please, ladies and gentlemen, stop saying, let me pick your brain. That is so freaking average. Stop saying that. I freaking hate it. My biggest pet peeve is when somebody calls me and texts me, can I pick your brain? I freaking hate that. That is the most mediocre statement, right? A millionaire taught me that, right? So what I like to call, I'll be like, hey, Tim Below, my name is Edward, dude. Look, I've been watching your success, sir. I've been seeing everything you're doing. And Tim Below, like, I've been studying, I've been working hard, sir. And I just want to see if I can take 5 minutes of your time, that I can find a way that I can add value to you, sir. I would like to learn from your success because I see myself where you are at. Can I have the opportunity to have 5 minutes with you or take you out for a steak? Like, I'll take you out for a steak, sir. Any restaurant you want, I'm willing to invest $300 in your steak while I'll eat a salad, right? Because I know that the jewels that you're gonna drop in me is gonna be worth more than those $300. But see, most people won't do that. Most people will be like, hey, can I pick your brain? Can I pick your brain? And then it's like, well, what are you gonna give me back in return, bro? Picking your brain, the only thing that I can think about is like, you know, those little leash, a little leash, little black, little blood-sucking little vampires. I can imagine when somebody says, can I pick your brain? I can imagine those little leashes just like, sucking the blood out of me, right? And then it's like, dude, like, what are you gonna give me back?
Oh God, that is great.
Dude.
That's great. So guys, there's still some light outside. Okay. So there's light outside. If you ain't fired up and you ain't leaving your house right now to go sell some more dang insurance right now. Okay. If this guy didn't get you motivated, now the motivation that only lasts for so long, like he's saying, right? It's we're not just motivated to do stuff. We have a purpose that's higher than ourselves. We got a list inside this. Lynn Floyd, she asked, hey, what are your journals about? Right? Your different journals. The journal's all about the purpose in our life to do something that's greater than ourselves. And we're at the bottom of our list. So me and E were talking, we're saying, hey, and when we talk about gratitude and we write down our list of gratitude every single day, like, where do you fall on that list? Like, I don't even know if I make my list of gratitude, right? I don't even know if I'm on that list. If I'm on that list, I'm at the bottom because there's a lot of things that I put in my life that are top priority. Now, keeping myself in great health, right? Like I was telling E, I'm like, dude, I'm on this running streak, right? Because I was listening to some David Goggins and I just want to run all day now, right? I just want to, my knees hurt. I don't care. I'm going to put some support on them, right? Compression, whatever. I'm going to get after, right? I'm not going to stop, right? But when I think about it for myself, it's, hey, I got to be here for my wife, right? I don't like running 6 to 8 miles. Like, I ain't gonna lie to you guys. It ain't fun. Like, it's not fun. It's not good on you. Like, it hurts your body. If any of y'all are athletes in here, you know, I haven't met one athlete that doesn't have some type of ache and pain. It only gets worse as you get older, right? But I got to be here for them. So if running hurts my knees, but it keeps my heart healthy, that's probably a good sacrifice. So when I stack my gratitude in my journals, I'm looking at that. I'm reflecting upon that. It's like, why am I here? So E doesn't use an alarm clock, or he may or may not. I don't use an alarm clock. I haven't used an alarm clock in a very long period of time. Not just because I have a son now that's 2 years old, and y'all know if you got kids how that works, but it's just, and I wake up before him. Like, I am up and I'm excited and I'm just thinking about, like, all right, I got to dominate this day, right? I have very, very limited time on this earth. I ain't going to live forever. I know that, right? I'd like to be here, you know, for extended period of time, but I'm not going to be here forever. I'm well aware of that. We only got so many times, so many hours in the day that we have to capitalize on this business, on this industry. It's a beautiful business. It's changed my life. It's changed many of y'all on this call's life. So this is an opportunity that you have to be around the highest performers in the industry. The people that aren't on this call, it just like blows my mind, right? You're on this call because you can be around the highest performers in the entire industry and learn from them. And you know how much we charge you? Nothing. We don't charge you a dime, right? But if we're your upline, it's called earning your override, right? So if we're making money on you as a downline with an override, we got to earn that override. He was just talking about it. If your upline does nothing for you, what's the value that they provide, right? And if there's no one providing value to you, how do you get the value that you need to be successful, right? So it's plug into every single thing. If you don't know nothing about Medicare, but you haven't been through the Medicare training and you're confused, but you're going out there and you're making $2-3 grand a week, it's like, what are you doing? It's like, dude, like, how much do you care? For me to put together that training, do you know how much time, hours, and sacrifice it cost me to do that? For me to be on this call every single night, that's time and sacrifice away from my family to make sure that people are getting the value that I told them that I was going to provide. The first time that I ever spoke to that individual on the phone, if they're working with me, I told them that no matter what, if you fail in this business, it's not going to be on me, because I'm going to do every single thing that I say I'm going to do. And I will tell you that from the beginning. And if I don't, is the day that I'll sign your release and you can go work with someone else. And that's an absolute fact. So there's a lot of really great stuff in there, but we can't give you any more content tonight. Okay. Because we can't give away the show. We got a lot more calls to do, E, right? We got a lot more. We can't just give them everything in one night and they don't come back. So with that said, I'm going to mute you, E. And if anyone's got some questions, right, please feel free to go ahead and raise your hand. I'm going to scroll up through the chat real quick and see if anyone's got some questions in here. I'm scrolling through it. Case in point, Joe was talking about, yep, client gave him a referral today. Do the right thing. Do you recommend asking for a referral whenever you send those thank you cards? Yeah, you can ask for referrals. I don't ask for referrals on the thank you cards. Actually, no, I don't. I ask for a referral before I leave that house, and on my follow-up calls, I'm going to ask for referrals. The way that the way that he worded it, which was providing value. So he says, hey, I'm not just here to sell you something. It's basically like, hey, did you add a grandchild into your life, into your family, so that way I can add value to you? That was the way that he worded it, which is a great pitch. Robbie Hahn says, do you send out cards to your MA/MAPD clients reminding them to use their OTC benefits? Hey, that's not a bad idea. That's a good idea, right? He said, hey, I send out 6 cards a year. He didn't say what to put on every single one of those 6 cards. So maybe something along those lines can go a long way. That could be a big, big difference in using those benefits, right? It's something that a lot of clients that you may sit down with, they don't even do it. It's like, hey, did you order through this catalog? Or maybe you as an agent failed because you didn't tell them to order through that catalog, right? Because you didn't show them on the iPad to order through that catalog. On my website, I went in there and I updated it with OTC catalogs for every single one of those carriers in the portal train. So that way you guys have it in your house, right? In the house with the client. I never give an agent an excuse to say that they don't have the resources that they have. That's why I sacrificed a lot of time to build a website, that looks pretty decent, not too great, but it looks pretty good, but it's got the content there that you need, because the content is the king, right? So that's what it is. So if you guys say, hey, what's the income, right, that someone needs to qualify for this program for Medicare, right? I don't just want to respond with, oh, it's on my website, right? I want to respond with the answer. And then I want to tell you, hey, on my website in the Medicare agent portal, this is the tab that you need to click, Part D/LAS chart, right? Because I don't want you to come back with that same question again. I want to give you the answer. I want to give you the ability to go find that answer so you know it for going forward in the future. 3 journals, Lynn. So there's 3 different journals that I have. I got a journal for final expense. I got a journal for Medicare. I got a journal for life. And then I got a journal for just sales training. I got a notepad that I use for gratitude, that I like to stack my gratitude every single morning, every single day. I'm very grateful for the life that I live. Share your card again. Yeah. So I got that card, Cody. But E, yeah, if you want to do a screenshot, E, of your cards that you send out, people would love that. I think they would really appreciate that. So Crystal, same exact question as Lynn above. And then we got Donnie over here. Any chance that Medicare training is coming to Kansas anytime soon? If not, I may be in Dallas next week. So good news is I am willing to go wherever y'all are to go ahead and train, right? So I personally, just like everyone else, right, I'm getting 1 million phone calls a day. We're blowing this up with final expense services and their whole entire health division going. So Donnie, at any point in time, like you got a team there, I will come down there just like I did with E, right? E was like, hey, dude, can you get together with me, my team, and train these people? I was like, yep, I'll drive 3.5 hours, 4 hours. I'm gonna come see you and your team. I'm gonna sit down with you guys. I'm gonna spend a whole day in a conference room, about 10, 12 hours. We did, boom, spent that whole entire day nonstop running all day. That's it. Right. So we did that all day. So Donnie, absolutely just get with me. I would love to do that for you and your team, people around you. If there's people in Kansas in here, please feel free to be there. Dallas this coming week on Wednesday, I'm going to pack out the conference room with people. People are going to be here on Wednesday. We got Vanessa, Conrad, anyone else that wants to join us this coming Wednesday in our Richardson office, which is Dallas, Texas area. So with that said, I appreciate everyone for joining. I'm very grateful for you to join. Stack your gratitude. Listen to what everyone said on this call and what E said in particular. I got 2 pages of notes. If you have no notes, I mean, come on, take this business serious. Otherwise, you'll be out of this business. So like I said, I appreciate everyone. Have a wonderful evening. Stack your gratitude. Have a good night.